welcome to another episode of Rectec Reels. I'm Henna, Commercial Success Manager here at Rectec, and today joining me is Kalpesh from Baxfield, and we're going to be talking about productivity. So, Kalpesh, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, Henna. Nice to meet you again. So we know each other from a number of different places over the
Mhm.
years. So my name is Kalpesh. I've been involved in the recruitment ecosystem for 26 years. Started off as a graduate, worked for a company called S3, where I was on the board for the UK business. My passion, and I use the word passion around recruitment, is around the fact that we can actually genuinely change people's lives and help solve problems by placing the right talent in organizations. And that what I thought I'd come on today's program with you on is to understand how we get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, absolutely. And with your experience, and obviously we've crossed paths a few times in different sort of areas within the sector, but you've got a lot of experience, and it's safe to say that you're an expert in this field. So it'd be good to get a bit of an understanding of where you think that recruiters are actually falling short when it comes to maximising their productivity.
So I think we're in an interesting stage at the moment. And if we were having this conversation 2 years ago, or even a year ago, I would be giving you very, very different answers. So let's go back before we go forwards just for a
Yeah.
minute. So for the last couple of years, 2021, 2022, if you were a recruiter, the key skill you needed around productivity was how do I find great candidates?
Mhm.
So everything around your training, around your development, around your outreach, around the hours that you spent every day was around building those candidate networks. How do you find them? How do you locate them, etc. The challenge actually wasn't finding jobs, and I
Mhm.
think this is one of the things where we're realizing in the economy as we go into 2024, and certainly some of the things I see this year with the companies I work with. The skill now is around business development. It's around outreach. It's around building relationships with clients again, not so necessarily around building relationships with candidates. So I think the big thing, if I talk to anyone around productivity, particularly in today's market going into 2024. And it doesn't matter whether you're a global recruiter or a UK recruiter, it's around how do you build better relationships with your clients? How do you have a stronger business development strategy to be able to pull up those opportunities and those jobs so you can continue making more placements and ultimately continue to be productive?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's just been such a weird year in the market, and it's just changed so much. I think this is probably the biggest change that we've seen in the recruitment market. I don't know if you'll agree, in probably quite some time. And people are kind of thinking, gosh, what do we do now, and what's going to work? And I think it's about sort of kind of going back to basics and making sure that you're making the most out of what you have. So with that in mind, obviously, as a recruiter, get your recruiter hat on, how do you use tech to actually power your talent?
So, first of all, if I just go again, I'm lucky. I've done 26 years of recruitment. I've seen great markets. I've seen terrible markets. So I can just say that the change we're going for, and one thing I talk about recruitment, whether I'm talking to people outside of our sector or in our sector, recruiters are the most transformative people on the planet,
Yeah.
right? And if you think about how, as an industry, we've had to continue to evolve and develop, and just think about your own personal journey and how you've gone from being a recruiter to being involved in technology, etc. We continue to evolve and develop. The
Mhm.
key thing I tell people about how it's not about whether you have more technology or more talent. And when I'm talking to business owners or directors or managers, it's about how do you use technology to power your talent. So how do you choose the right tech stack? So choosing the right CRM, choosing the right tools that sit on top of that CRM. So whether it's video interviewing, whether it's analytics, whether it's outreach, whether it's sequencing. Um, and the one thing I keep telling people, you mentioned going back to basics. A lot of people don't actually know what the basics are,
Mhm.
right? And that's okay. And even if you're a leader of a recruitment company, go and find a network where you can go and learn from other people. So, I'm really lucky. I'm involved in a whole bunch of different networks. And I've got a community of recruiters and HR tech professionals I can plug into. But go and ask people about what they're doing, how it's working for them. And the one thing I keep going back to when I talk to recruitment owners is it's not about buying more technology for the sake of buying more technology. It's about buying the right technology to power your talent, your recruiters, to
Mhm.
be able to do their job better. And if you're a solo recruiter or you're a small recruitment company and you're that person that is the buyer of all your equipment, but you're also the person that has to do the recruitment, think about what do you need in your case to help you be more productive and more efficient.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's confusing, right? It's no secret how saturated this recruitment market is, especially when it comes to tech. And there is just so much, and everyone's going to say it's going to help you and it's going to make your dreams come true and it's going to make you a shit ton of money. And actually, how do you know that? And how do you know it's going to actually help your productivity rather than hinder it? So, yeah, some really, really good points there.
So we were joking earlier on before we started recording, and it's one of the
Mhm.
analogies I've used quite often. It's, for those of you that have children in your family, somewhere yourself, it's a little bit like when you say to a young child, go and get your toy box out. Now empty all your toys out. And before you buy any new toys, you need to make room.
Yeah.
So I have this same conversation with recruiters or people in the recruitment ecosystem of, okay, go and work out what your tech stack is today. Let's metaphorically put it all out of the box for a minute. And now, one by one, let's put back each technology or tech vendor to work out, is it mission critical? Do you really need it? Is it technology you need to empower you to be more successful and to enable you to do your job? Or was it a vanity purchase,
Mhm.
stroke, did you get sold to, something you don't need today? Then you need to start working out, can I use that technology to help me? Or do you need to exit that before you go and buy more new stuff? And look, I know what I'm like. Every time there's a new product, everything else coming out, it's like, right, how do I use that?
Mhm.
Sometimes you have to go stop, take away what you already use and take stock before you go and buy again.
Yeah, absolutely. I should probably bring that method into my shopping habits, but it's probably not going to happen. Just basically check out some shoes before I buy more. But will I? That's the next question. Lovely stuff. So, Kalpesh, last question here. What advice would you give to any recruiters that might want to actually enhance their productivity?
So I think that it's a real simple one-liner, right? It's tech-enabled talent. So the simple thing about the world we're in today, the world is going to keep changing. I know everyone's got an opinion on what 2024 is going to be. Some people are bullish, some people are bearish. So in layman's terms, people are thinking, oh, it's going to be an amazing market. It's going to be the same market. My feedback is, if you have the market the same as it is today, right? It's working out the right activities you need to do every day. And I think there's no substitution for picking up a telephone. There's no substitution for doing outreach. Um, Vacancies aren't miraculously going to appear in your lap. Might do, but that means you've been really lucky.
Yeah.
So it's actually going out and saying, right, okay, what is my model? What is my modus operandi? How do I operate? What is my rhythm? Whether you use sequence or outreaching or cadence as your language, how do you operate? But you have to take the battle out there and you have to make contact. If you're a recruiter that is phone shy, if all you do is email and you do send out more emails or sequencing and you won't pick up the telephone, you probably aren't going to win.
Mhm.
My fundamental belief for next year is the market we have in 2023, we work on the premise that is a normal market that we're going to be going into 2024. And let's for 1 minute assume it's not going to be any better. You have to work out, how do you adapt your game plan, your operating rhythm to make sure that you can make the best of everything you do every day.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of uncertainty, and I think there always has been in the recruitment industry, but particularly within this market. And I think let's just try and figure out what we can with the tools that we have and future proof what we're doing and hope for the best and see where we can go from there.
Look, clients are still going to need to hire.
Yeah,
People are still going to move
exactly.
jobs, right? So the one thing that is certain is there will be demand. And I think, my one advice I give to everyone is, if you think about the 2021, 2022 market conditions we've been in, they weren't normal.
Yeah.
When I talk about free economics, right, it just wasn't normal. So if you go back to those of you who've been in the market in 2019, that was the last normal market we experienced. We're kind of experiencing the same normal market. So there is opportunities out there that you do need the right tech stack. You do need the right way of working. The big thing you need to work out is, how are you going to make whatever market conditions come our way work for you? And what tools do you need to make it happen?
Yeah, absolutely. So that really nicely segues me into the sort of final part. So if you are watching this and you're looking to sort of build out your tech stack, you're looking for a new ATS or CRM, take advantage of our unique fee-free comparison service, Rectec Compare. Or if, like Kalpesh said, you're looking at some different tools that might complement your tech stack, then reach out to us on rectec.io and we'll be sure to help you find those. But Kalpesh, thank you so much for joining me today. And thanks for your amazing advice.
Thank you very much.